Hi, dear students. In the last class, we concluded the calculus part. Today, we are going to start a new chapter called Units and Dimension, or say units, dimensions, and measurement. Very important chapter. The understanding of the concepts that we employ in measuring physical quantities will help us a lot in dealing or in studying all the laws of physics, all the concepts of physics. So, let us first understand a term called physical quantity. Rather, I would say in plural as physical quantities. Dear children, in the lower classes you have studied physics. Hopefully, you have heard the terms called distance, displacement, time, speed, velocity, acceleration, mass, force, and so on. Also, you must have noticed that displacement is measured. We use some values, for example, say 5, then we use unit, say meter, then we say direction towards east, 5 meter towards east. If you say speed, you say 10 meters per second. So, these quantities that you have studied in lower classes have measurements. Now, by looking at the experience of studying all these things in lower classes, we understand in physics we study a lot of quantities which we require to measure. As in your school, you have your classmates, your schoolmates, collectively you call them as students. However, each student has got his or her own individual name, but collectively you call it as a name, students. Similarly, in physics, we measure things like distance, displacement, time, mass, and so on. We collectively call these quantities as physical quantities. So, what's it? Anything that we measure in physics, for describing that thing completely, then that quantity or those quantities are called as physical quantities. So, all those quantities that we measure in the study for their complete description, are called physical quantities. Now, if I ask you, what are the examples of physical quantities? Just a minute before I told you, the examples of physical quantities are, we can have a very long list. So, starting with the very fundamental thing that we have studied in lower class is distance. Next, you talk about displacement. Next, if you say time, then come mass, say speed, velocity. I will bring out the list of all those physical quantities that you have studied in lower classes. Velocity, then it comes acceleration, then force, momentum, At least I hope again you have studied in class 9th hopefully the term called impulse and so on. So, up to 10th class you have studied at least these physical quantities. So, these are collectively called as physical quantities. Besides these quantities, in class 11th we will be studying a lot more physical quantities here. Say we are going to study what is torque, the new type of physical quantities that you are going to come across. You are going to come across, hopefully in lower classes you have studied current that we measure in physics, and you are going to study angular velocity, angular acceleration, angular speed. Like this you will come across many terms. So, thus all these terms collectively we call it as physical quantities. Then in your school, if you say students, student comprise of all the students or all the inmates of the school. If I ask you to divide this big group into two groups, naturally you are going to divide this one as boys and girls. Likewise, we inspect all physical quantities in physics that we are going to study, and what we try is we try to group these physical quantities into say two, not three categories, or say firstly two categories. How? What I am going to see is in lower class I have studied that speed is equal to distance by time. So, when I look at this, I understand that speed is one physical quantity, but this physical quantity I got from distance and time. Then I say, or I think, is it possible to get this physical quantity from any other physical quantity? Then next I want to check, time is one physical quantity, will I be able to derive or get this physical quantity from any other quantities? So, as such, when we observe and when we studied all possible physical quantities in physics, we find that there are 7 physical quantities which cannot be derived from other physical quantities. For example, let me tell you in bare terms that you will understand. We have 26 alphabets in English. If I give you words, so we can have many words. But if I ask you, can we form all these words using these fundamental alphabets of 26 letters? Your answer will be yes. But if I ask you, can I make this A from some other letter? It's not possible, because these 26 alphabets are the basic letters using which we can form words. Likewise, what we say is that we have found out 7 such physical quantities from the list of all physical quantities that we study in physics. These 7 physical quantities are fundamental in nature. They cannot be derived from any other physical quantities, and thus we listed all these 7 fundamental physical quantities or 7 physical quantities and named it as fundamental physical quantities. Then question comes, sir, what happens to the rest of the physical quantities? The rest of the physical quantities are derivable using any of these, or it is derivable using these fundamental physical quantities. Like one example I showed you, speed can be derived from distance and time. So, since this physical quantity can be derived from these 7 fundamental physical quantities, so the list of all those physical quantities which can be derived from these physical quantities, 7 physical quantities, we listed them under a category called derived physical quantities. Thus, physical quantities can be classified into 2 groups. So, let us see what those groups are. In that case, let me put in this order: physical quantity or say quantities, and I say that I have derived or I have classified this into two. I said one group is called as fundamental physical quantities, and the second one is called as derived physical quantities. Dear students, now we have divided the physical quantities into two groups. I say fundamental physical quantities and derived physical quantities. Since we know that this is a division from this, we are not going to say here spelling. We are not going to use this letter always. Similarly, we are going to avoid this letter. So thus, the group I am going to call, or in your textbook mostly you are going to find fundamental quantities, not physical. So physical word is understood, implicit when we say fundamental quantities. Likewise, when I say derived quantities, the word physical is implicit in it. So therefore, hereafter we are going to say fundamental quantities and derived physical quantities. I told you under this category there are 7 physical quantities. So we need to list them all. So 4, 5, 6 and 7th. So the first physical quantity is length. You can say distance also. The next is mass. The third quantity is time. The fourth quantity is current. The fifth is temperature. Sixth is luminous intensity. And the seventh is called amount of substance. So these are the 7 physical quantities that cannot be derived from any other physical quantities. I would, in other words, say that these forms the fundamental physical quantities. Then if I want to list derived physical quantities, I can have the rest of the physical quantities written under the category of derived physical quantities. So let us say, for example, hopefully you have studied speed. So since you know that speed can be derived from distance, I said length can also be called as distance. So distance by time, both the physical quantities you find under the list of fundamental physical quantities, speed. Next, if you talk about velocity, for example, then velocity is equal to displacement by time. Displacement is also length. So length by time, once again you find here in the list of fundamental physical quantities. As such, velocity becomes derived physical quantity. If I talk about the other physical quantity, say acceleration. You know acceleration is change in velocity. So change in velocity, rather in lower classes you have studied like this by time. Now velocity, change in velocity again it is going to be velocity for me. So then velocity is equal to displacement by time. So this is again going to be displacement by time over time. So I said displacement. When I talk about magnitude, this is length. So length I find here, and time square I am going to have, then time again I find here in this list. As such, I say that acceleration is once again a derived physical quantity. As such, let us say force. So, force is equal to mass times acceleration. Mass times acceleration. So, acceleration itself is a derived physical quantity. So, mass, again mass you find in the fundamental physical quantities, as such force is also derived physical quantity. You have studied momentum. So, we can have a very big list of this derived physical quantities. So, what we must keep in mind in terms of physical quantities is that these 7 are the fundamental physical quantities. Rest of the physical quantities that we are going to study in physics have been derived from these fundamental physical quantities. But then after having studied all these physical quantities, we were left with 2 special physical quantities which have a special feature, and therefore these 2 physical quantities were put under another group called as supplementary physical quantities. As such, there is a third group or classification, we call it as supplementary physical quantities. So, when I say supplementary physical quantities, as I told you, physical word we are going to omit while naming the groups, because we know that we are grouping these physical quantities. As such, we are going to call it as supplementary quantities. Under this supplementary quantities, we have 2 quantities. One is called as plane angle. The second one is called as solid angle. So, these are the 2 physical quantities. So, dear students, as far as physical quantities are concerned, let us do a recap. I said physical quantities, all those quantities that we measure in physics are collectively called as physical quantities. Physical quantities are now classified into 3 categories. One, we call it as fundamental physical quantities. So, these physical quantities are fundamentals in nature. Fundamental in nature, these physical quantities cannot be derived from any other physical quantities, and the number of physical quantities we have in the list under fundamental quantities are 7, and they are length, mass, time, current, temperature, luminous intensity and amount of substance. As such, if we look at the second category I called as derived physical quantities, you put any physical quantity that you know in physics that you are going to study under this list, all will fit into this list. But then when we observed all physical quantities carefully, we found 2 physical quantities that has special feature, that is plane angle and solid angle. We put it to the third category called as supplementary physical quantities. Now, you may be having a question lingering in your mind that why these 2 physical quantities have been put under special category called as supplementary physical quantities. I will tell you the reason in a while. So, dear students, the name of the chapter is units, dimensions and measurement, or say units and measurements you will find. In some other textbooks you may also find units and dimensions. So, we need to study what we actually mean by a unit. So, first let us talk about this one. What is unit in physics? A very crispy term. Dear students, measurements are made by different peoples belonging to different fields. However, things are studied world over, and when measurements are made in one place and if this measurement is expressed somewhere else, then these measurements must be in an understandable manner. If I say 1 meter length of cloth in India, and if the same measurement is expressed somewhere say in United States of America, then the person who is listening to this measurement must be able to understand what the length we are speaking. So, therefore, people all over the world came to an agreement in respect of measuring different physical quantities. So, then there was a conference held in the year 1971 called as General Conference on Weights and Measures. In this conference, experts from all over the world conglomerated and they had an intense discussion, a vivid discussion, and they came to a logical and rationalized conclusion. And there, what they said is, they defined the unit with which these fundamental physical quantities, we had in our list 7. So, all these 7 fundamental physical quantities can be measured using an arbitrary measurement which has been agreed upon by the people all over the world in the General Conference on Weights and Measures. Let me tell you more clearly that the 7 fundamental physical quantities we studied, the number 1, it was length. So then in this meeting it was decided that the length we are going to measure using a meter rod. So when we say a meter rod, if I ask you what is the length of 1 meter rod, you may be saying, sir, this is the length of 1 meter. So you are approximating this is the length. So actual length of 1 meter was defined in this meeting. So the length, sir, 1 meter length, what you know today was actually decided in 1971 in that meeting. So this much length must be 1 meter, could have been agreed upon as this length can be 1 meter. But what they said was that the unit we are going to define today in this meeting will be applicable or will be used by the people all over the world. Therefore, the units that we describe now must be usable, must be reproducible, must be convenient for the people to handle. So many things they kept in mind and they defined the standard measure. However, I said 1 meter length was this much. So this measurement, this length is an arbitrary length. So therefore, they decided length will be measured in terms of meter. The second you talk about, say, mass. It was told that mass will be measured in terms of kilogram. Again, when we say kilogram, again it is an arbitrary measure. 1 kilogram at an average, I can say this is 1 kilogram. So that was again an arbitrary measure. If you say time, it was told that we are going to use second as the standard measure. The smallest measurement that we are going to measure is second. Similarly, the fourth one we had current. It was said that the current is going to be measured in terms of ampere. Fifth we had, say, temperature. Then it was decided that we are going to use Kelvin as the arbitrary measure. We are going to use Kelvin as a measure of temperature. The sixth one, say, luminous intensity. Luminous intensity, we use the unit called candela. And the seventh one, amount of substance, we call it as mole. So dear students, these 7 measurements proposed by the General Conference on Weights and Measures meeting has become a standard measure. Standard measure. However, it is accepted by all people, so therefore we say that it is internationally accepted. internationally accepted. However, I said the length of the meter rod, the mass of 1 kilogram substance and the rest of the things, these measurements are arbitrary. So therefore, it is said that it is arbitrarily chosen. Arbitrarily chosen. And thus now we are in a position to define the term unit. So what's a unit if you ask me? See please, an arbitrarily chosen, an arbitrarily chosen standard measure, standard measure internationally accepted, internationally accepted an arbitrarily chosen, I would put this way, an arbitrarily chosen internationally accepted standard measure. Internationally accepted standard measure is called a unit. This is the definition of unit, right? So now you put each proposal into this. See please, meter is an arbitrarily chosen internationally accepted standard measure and is called the unit of length. If you put the other one, a kilogram is an arbitrarily chosen internationally accepted standard measure which we call it as a unit of mass. Second is an arbitrarily chosen internationally accepted standard measure which we call it as a unit of time. So this is the definition of unit. Now the unit or the units, the list of the units here, see these are the units of these physical quantities. The list of these 7 physical quantities we put under the category called as fundamental quantities. Now the units that belong to the physical quantities that come under list of fundamental quantities, these units are called fundamental units. So as such, see these are fundamental quantities. Say these are fundamental quantities and the corresponding units are called as fundamental units. Fundamental units. So if you are asked how many fundamental physical quantities are there, you would say 7 fundamental quantities are there. How many fundamental units are there? There are 7 fundamental units. Similarly, now I hope you are getting an idea that you have the list of derived physical quantities. So if I have derived quantities, then what about the units? Let me put a question to my mind that the experts sitting in the meeting decided to have an arbitrary measure to measure the length. What would have happened if in the meeting experts decided for every derived physical quantity its own unit? Then we will have scores of units which will become really difficult to handle or to study things. So rationally they decided, instead of having for each physical quantity its own corresponding unique unit, they said, example, speed is a derived physical quantity. However, a derived physical quantity is actually derived from fundamental physical quantities. For example, it is distance by time. Distance by time. And distance is nothing but length. So, length by time. Length is a fundamental physical quantity, time is a fundamental physical quantity, and we were told instead of having a unique unit, you simply have the unit of your fundamental physical quantity called meter by time, it is second. So, as such, the unit of the speed is called meter per second. So, dear students, we can have a list of physical quantities. In the classes to continue, we will talk about more physical quantities and we will get deeper into the other topics. Till then, bye, study well. Thank you very much.